Fallen to Furia, Liquid selling off EliGE, electronic to evil geniuses? Suffice it to say, there have been some truly unhinged roster rumors as of late. Some things are set in stone, some things aren't. Either way, this might just be the biggest roster shuffle in CSGO history. Let's talk about it. Alright, so before we dive into things, I wanted to let you all know that we just released a video covering our recent trip to Tokyo. We got to experience the Snapdragon Mobile Masters firsthand and watch the teams battle it out in this incredible tournament. Our team had a ton of fun exploring the city and being a part of this amazing event. Huge thanks to our friends at Snapdragon Elite Gaming for sending us to Tokyo. Be sure to check out everything we got up to in the link below. Alright, so the player break is upon us, CS2 is right around the corner, apparently. And rosters are being subjected to some truly fatherless behavior. Like, it's f***ed. Now again, a lot of this is unconfirmed. We are treating leaks as leaks and reports as reports and nothing more. There's a very good chance that in the amount of time it takes to edit and upload this video, even more stuff will come to light. I do not have the inside scoop, though even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. First things first, Fallen to Furia. Of all the rumored changes, I think I like this one the best. According to a report by Dust2 Brazil, Furia are in talks to secure the 32-year-old legend as a replacement for Safe. Apparently, they're drop, regardless of whether they pick up the Professor, leaving the core of Art, Yuri, and K. Serato intact. I like this change insofar as it refreshes and bolsters Furia without tearing them apart. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Art needing to go, which I don't agree with, and I think that taking the IGL responsibilities off of him is probably a much better route. Plus, you put the biggest Brazilian name on what is now the premier Brazilian roster, and it's just a win-win for everyone, and overall, very good for the region. Next, Liquid. So according to a report by Dust2 US, North America's premier Counter-Strike roster, Team Liquid, were considering a move in which they would sell off EliGE and turn EU-centric, picking up Team Spirit's Patsy and Bulgarian rifler Rainwaker. Both signings have since been confirmed, as well as EliGE's departure from Liquid. Suffice it to say, EliGE's 8-year tenure with Team Liquid coming to an end is a very big deal. He carries the greatest franchise legacy of any North American player. He's been the face of that roster since they were barely top 30 back in 2015. Truly the end of an era. What's an even bigger deal is that given Nitro's recent decision to step down, they'll be entering a new non-NA focused era, which is a decision. The assumption is that they're building around Yakindar, which he basically confirmed on Twitter, and in that respect, I get it. Yeki is insane and absolutely worth seizing. Will he thrive as the IGL? It's hard to say since his lurking and mid-round calling is so world-class, but what I will say is that I think he's enough of a genius that he's earned the right to give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, he can always just go back to being a god-tier secondary caller. The issue for me isn't whether EliGE needed to be replaced or whether they will thrive strategically by going full European, but rather the business implications of all of this. By turning Eurocentric, Team Liquid are giving up their spot in the Americas RMR and potentially every major for the foreseeable future. Like, this really isn't about team chemistry, it's about sticker money. Let's be honest, the spot in the major that Liquid could secure through the Americas RMR isn't free per se, but it's pretty fucking close. And with that major spot comes a shit ton of all but guaranteed sticker revenue. By going to Europe, you're entering the EU RMR, which is wildly competitive and potentially forfeiting a massive revenue stream. Maybe it's a good move, maybe it's a bad move. I don't know. Either way, them's the stakes. In all fairness, they did get out ahead of this and release a video explaining their reasoning. And if you haven't watched Joka Steve's monologue on the fucking abysmal state of NACS and everything Liquid did to save it, you should.
We tried our best. I think that more than any other team, behind the scenes, we were working with ESL, Blast, team owners, streamers, anyone you could think of to make NA a place that was more sustainable in multiple ways. And ultimately, collectively, we failed. To the longtime TL fans that are sitting there saying, TL, what the hell are you doing? I would just ask that you trust us.
There's also the question of fandom. It's no secret that we, the neglected, long-suffering North American Counter-Strike fan base, have become sort of overly reliant on Team Liquid's continued existence within the scene. For them to abandon us, that's tough. But, by the same token, like, who were they gonna pick up? In their defense, all I ever see are swampy takes about how NACS is a joke and EliGE washed and Nitro Valorante player. And then they pick up fucking Patsy and all of a sudden they're like traitors or something. It's not fair that Liquid are facing backlash for failing to single-handedly prop up a region. It's just not. Will I still cheer for them? Of course. But I gotta admit, it's sad. Especially with an entirely new Counter-Strike around the corner. It was really fun when Liquid were North America's team, our team, the one we all rallied behind. Now they're just Liquid. But again, I'll still cheer for them. The rumor was that EliGE was headed for none other than Evil Geniuses. Thanks to yet another report by Dust2US, word got out that Johnny Jabs turned down Complexity in favor of EG, who, according to one of Blix's reports, had their sights set on EliGE. The report also claimed that EG was looking to secure Jax and Electronic, which that one wasn't on my bingo card, that's for sure. And then, early Thursday morning, it was reported that all of EG's potential moves had come undone and that they'd actually be securing none of these players in time to meet Blast's June 22nd roster lock, or, you know, at all. It seems a shit ton more likely that Elec and Perfecto will both end up on Cloud9, which was substantiated in an HLTV report early Friday morning. And then, yesterday, it was confirmed that EliGE would be joining Complexity after all.
EliGE reportedly eyes moved to another NACS team after talks with EG turned sour.
5 seconds ago, EliGE joins Complexity.
No, yeah, we're making jokes. Yeah, no, it's so funny that I had to rewrite this script 7 times in between Wednesday and today. Are you laughing? I know I'm laughing. So yeah, EliGE to Complexity. Call it NA Copium because honestly, where else was he gonna go? But I think it's actually a good move. This roster has always had potential. They just needed a bit of a boost in firepower. I just wish it wasn't coming at the expense of Fang. Having a fellow Toronto mans in Tier 1 CS was the dream, dude. He's a really good player, and I hope he finds a good home. Anyway, enough with NACS, because rumor has it, Navi is going international. Since making it clear that they will not sign players who reside in Russia, Navi have understandably struggled to secure top tier talent from the CIS, despite it being basically the deepest pool on the planet. Going international opens up a sea of opportunities and is, in my opinion, great for the org long term. In terms of who they get, that's where things get spicy. The rumor is that they're honing in on Lithuanian rifler JL, Ima, the Romanian homie who was straight up smurfing at the Paris Major, and Finnish IGL Alexi B, who just got cut from like his 3rd team in a year or something, which isn't shade. I think Alexi deserves a shot, man. The guy's been tossed around for what feels like 4 years, and I just honestly think he hasn't been given a fair shake. There's smaller stuff, like EG looking to part ways with their coach Vorborg and reinstate Malik, which is cool. Not to mention Astralis doing away with both their director of sports and Hunden, which is just one big, fat, juicy Keck dub. On the confirmed side of things, we also know that Astralis are parting ways with Glaive, which, I mean, that's a big one. I think going all in on Blame from an IGL standpoint makes a ton of sense, and I've actually wanted Astralis to do that for quite a while. And nabbing both Stair and Borup is a huge win, in my opinion. Flamesy is also out of OG and replacing Dupree on Vitality, which, I mean, look, I'll be honest. Dupree has sort of struggled with consistency, and despite being the GOAT, an actual 5-time major winner, I think long-term, this one sort of makes sense. Is that it? I think that's it. I don't know. Look, I can say with certainty that for today, that's it. All right? If you're watching this tomorrow, on the weekend, when we're not working, you're shit out of luck, my friend. We're definitely seeing a huge shakeup heading into CS2, and it really isn't clear how it's all gonna pan out. I'll be honest, I don't know how to recap any of this, all right? Like, seriously. I talked with Shocks about this on Unmuted Live yesterday, and he agreed that this roster shakeup is just fucking lunacy.
Right now, there is a lot of moves that I actually don't understand. Honestly,
It's crazy, bro.
for someone who is here like kind of since the beginning,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of changes that I just don't get it. I don't get it. Everyone is just trying to get the most young player with the best statistic.
Yeah.
They're not taking care about the team chemistry. They're not taking care about how this player is on a personal level, if it's gonna fit with the other players or whatever. Like they just want young age and big stats. Everyone wants their best at their role, but man, it's a team game, and we don't even know who is gonna be good on CS2. Like,
the future of Counter-Strike is bright. Right now, it's very chaotic. I think that this CSGO to CS2 thing is gonna end up being a lot more tumultuous of a transition than a lot of us anticipated. But I gotta say, I for one, I'm kind of excited to see how it pans out. You have no idea, bro. These updates yesterday, I was literally, oh my God, I was watching that video yesterday, the fucking EliGE, the skit, his announcement video was them reading all of the announcements, and I'm literally watching this, and I'm like, oh, we're laughing. Oh, that's good. Oh, thank you. No, that's fun. That's cute.